Hello and welcome back to the third and final installment of my Variable Enchanter tutorial series. In the first part we made this multi-button selector array, which meant that whatever button we pressed, all the others turned off and that one turned on. In the second part we wired up the outputs from this, so whichever button we press, all the power from it one and off to the left would all activate, and in that way we could go from no power to partial power to full power, all at the press of a button. And now today we're going to wire that up to the actual pistons. So the first thing I need to do is make a few more pistons. There are 30 bookshelves, so I need 30 pistons. I already have 5, so let's make the rest of the ones we need. I need another 25. So you do that, put some redstone there, and you put your wood across the top, like so. So I need 25 of these. Okay, and I need some slimes. Some slime balls to turn them into sticky pistons. So I'm just going to get that from my storeroom. As you can see, I've added a roof design and stuff ready because I'm going to be putting wiring up there. Right, so let's turn these into sticky pistons by putting the slime balls above them. And we've got 30 sticky pistons. So what I've done here is I've positioned this white wool. Just realised that my impromptu staircase might be getting in the way a bit, but we'll find out. So bookcase, gap, then that's where the sticky piston is going to go. So the white wool is there, so I've got something to place the sticky piston against. It's also going to be part of my wiring circuit because I like to put all my redstone on white wool. So I just need to work my way around and put these in. Hopefully all of them facing downwards the way they should do. Oh, see, now that one ended up facing the wrong way. So just chop it out and pick it up again. So I just need I probably have to get in a bit closer. There we go. Because the sticky side of a piston, I can't get that, will face you in whatever position you're in. Okay, I'm going to have to put down some temporary flooring or something on this, I think, otherwise I'm not going to be able to get those. So that's all the upper ones done, and essentially I've got the same at the bottom. There's a gap, then there's where the piston goes, so the white wool is one more further down than that. Okay, and that's all of them. So let me just get rid of this stuff again. Just building a temporary staircase up to the roof, because this is how I can access stuff. That'll do. Right, so the way I want this wired is so if it's on level 1, then just a set of bookshelves at the back will be up, and they'll come up from the ground. And if it's level 2, it'll be still the bookshelves at the back, but they'll come down from the ceiling. And then I'll do one side fully, and the other side fully, and then finally those front ones, bottom and top. So it's going to be easier to check your wiring circuits and so on if you have them all lit up while you do this. So we need to divide. We've got 8 different power settings on this, not counting off. So we need to divide the pistons and the bookshelves into 8 different sets. And the most even way I can think to do this is to have these 3 at the back, the bottom, those 3 at the back at the top, as 2 different sets. Then we've got 4 on this side, 4 at the top there, and at the front, hang on, I counted 5. Okay, yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4 at the side, and then we've got 4 at the front as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that will be another set. So if we do the wiring on those for the sets first, then we'll know where we're heading towards and targeting with the rest of our wiring. So first of all, the 3 at the back. If I do that, and then put some redstone behind. Redstone, I said. Then, if I just use a torch to just send power to that for a moment, you'll see that that wiring there sends power to those repeaters, which sends it into those blocks, which has pushed those pistons down. And when the power goes away now, the sticky pistons will now have retracted those books. So, as I said that this set of pistons I wanted to be the second thing targeted. So, this is where I'm going to have to aim for my second wire from that. So if I just go round and do the rest, so we've got these 4 here is a set. So again, we're just putting them down and then running a wire around the back. And that wire is what we're going to be targeting with our power output. And now we have the 4 here. And we can just cross-connect them all together like that. Now we just do the same at the bottom. It's now this is quite tight quarters here, and I might have to chop out some of the roof so I can move around a bit more freely. But also I've realised that I'm going to have to maybe move these back slightly, or at least not have them as far forwards as they are here. So let's start by trimming these back a little bit. Okay, so we need that row of repeaters. Don't actually need that one for these 4 here. And then it needs... Can the power be down there? I don't think so, but let's test it. Nope, can't. So we're going to have a layer of wool here, and that's going to have to be redstoned. So as you can see, the quarters are a bit tight here, but we can work around it if necessary. So, oops, not sure why you ended up there. 4 at the sides. Okay, I see. I think I was accidentally clicking on a torch. I'm going to have to dig into this wall. So I'm just completing the pattern. Just replicating what I did at the top, but here on this lower level. Better light the place up again, otherwise monsters will appear. Don't especially want the constant sound of zombies and stuff crawling around underneath my enchanting room. Okay, so we've got all of our piston clusters wired up, so now we just have to actually connect the power. So this first wire here wants to connect to these three at the back without interfering with anything else. So the best way to do that, I think, is I've got to take the power off like that, but then I'll turn in this direction and simply head off round here. Should be able to just keep it like so. Run the wire. Now at some point this signal might not reach all the way. You'll be able to see that because the redstone will stop fizzing. There you go. See, it stopped fizzing there. This is one of the main advantages of having power in your circuit as you're laying out your wires. It means it's obvious when you reach situations like that. So to extend the signal further, because if you can see there, those aren't activating, just take the last one, or can you do that one? Can you go after the fizzle? Yes, you can. So this was the last one that was fizzling. I replaced the one after that with a repeater. It extends the length of the signal, and we're there. This second one here, I want to hook up to this side there, but I don't want it to interfere with that one or this one. So rather than taking from there, I'm going to take from this lower portion and drop down, because that means I can drop down again here, and that lets me run wire under there without it activating that. I think I do need to drop down that extra one, but I am just going to test that quickly here. Nope, I did not have to go down that extra one, which this is good. So now I can just go off to the side here. Right, now I just have to get out of here somehow. It's always awkward moving around inside these circuits. Grab that. I can't go up there because if I do it'll interfere with that one, but I can come up here because that's a repeater, so it won't take power sideways. And now I just need to go here and here. Make sure the signal has reached all of them, and it has. So next wire. How can I reach the next wire? Is that one. So I want that one to go to here. Now this one is going to just connect to there, so I can probably just run this one's wire. Now here we have a problem. I can't tap actually off this repeater here because I can't tap off a repeater in a downwards direction. And if I tap off at this level, it's going to activate those, which I don't want. But this thing does have output coming down to there. So what I could do is get rid of this repeater altogether, like so, and run off this signal. Now, if I run this redstone at that level, it's going to connect to there. So that's going to have to be, make sure there's no wiring there, down at that level. So we take that down. Here I think we can go a bit higher, so we go, oops, no. Okay, that isn't going to work. I don't want that connection there. So we just drop down one earlier. See, that's the secret to redstone. It's just all about working out how these things don't cross-connect when you don't want them to. Right. So we're going to run underneath here. I think we can start going up here. Because that's keeping us clear of that wiring there. So, okay, that last one isn't getting power because we've run out. The signal hasn't extended far enough, so I will simply stick a repeater there, and that's those ones wired. So this one's nice and simple, I think, because I can just do cross connect there. Well, I can just... Where's that wool gone? There's that wool. I think I can do that. Oh, I didn't need to go that far that way. So if I just do that, then that activates with no cross connects. So let's head up top and test the buttons and how it looks with just these lower ones moving. The pistons on the upper story are actually going to be slightly easier because we've got more room to play with. Right, so if I go off, all the lower ones retract. If I just do that one, we just get those three back there. Ooh. Oh no, that would be an upper level piston. So yes, I'm testing every other one at the moment. Yep, that sounded okay. Yes. And this should be all the ones at the bottom. Now, I know they don't all switch simultaneously and at the same time. If you wanted them to do that, you could adjust the timing on the various repeaters and so on. But I quite like the fact that it's that it sort of takes a while to work its way through everything. So now we just have to do the wiring for the ceiling, and we want to do a similar wiring scheme to try and match the stuff at the bottom. So we're going to start with the one on this side, and it's going to be the one at the back, and then the one on the right, the left, and then the front. But we've got to get the signals up there. So this is where we've got the signals for the bottom. And we need to get these up the top, preferably without getting too confused as to what's going on. So I think I can tap this one here off to the side here. So I'm going to drop down there, put a block there, and then I'm going to put a torch on top there. So we can do some vertical wiring. Now I'm wondering if I can get, if there's could I run my vertical wiring pretty close to this thing without it interfering? I think if I did it at this level, if I did it here, then we might end up with a redstone torch near that wiring, which is going to break it. But this level, then those are repeaters. That's a repeater. I think we can go up without any problems. So I'm actually going to build this one further out. That won't work. That won't work. No. Well, yes. If I cut the wires like so. So by putting those blocks there, I've stopped the connection there and the connection there, which allows this signal to go around into that torch. So now I can just put a block above it, torch. That torch needs to be on the block itself, like so. Block above it, torch. So this is how you can do vertical carry a signal up vertically. It does slow the signal down quite a bit because each torch is going to slow it down by a torch tick. And essentially the torches will alternate on and off, and when the state of the circuit changes, then again, then what was off becomes on and what was on becomes off, and it works its way up there. But it's the easiest way to carry a signal up and down. Right, I want to get to the height of this, which is my roof. So we do that. Do I want to go one more up? Because currently that's off, obviously, and I need it to be on. But I could... but that, I think, is about the level I want to be at. So the thing to do is I want to pull power out of a block, because that torch is going to power that, but when the circuit's off. So to pull power out, I don't think I can just do that. Let's test that by turning the circuit off for a second. No, I can. I can just pull the power out that way. Now the circuit's off. So the circuit's off, but this is now currently showing on. But what we can do is we can set up a simple inverter, which means we send the power into there, and we put a torch on the end. So when the circuit's off, this line will be powered, which turns that torch off. So the signal we pull out from it is off, and when we and when the circuit's the other way around, it's the other way around. I'm sorry, I'm really not explaining this very well, for which I do apologise. So let's turn the circuit on. And bring our other signals up. So again, there's no wiring on that level, I don't think. Or is there? Yeah, there's a bit of wiring there, so I can't run a vertical line there because it will interfere. There's wiring there, so that would interfere. Okay, my second circuit I'm going to have to bring up back there. So this is where I'm going to bring up my middle line, which is this one here. So I should just be able to do that. So I'm going to bring this up and do the same on the other side, and I'll cut back to then. Okay, so that's the wiring on that side, and this is the wiring on this side. basically a mirror image, although this one here was a little easier to do because I could just come off the side there and I didn't have to worry about cross connections or cuttings or anything because it's on the end. So those all flow up to the top. So I will now attempt to make my way to the top. If I can find my way through this maze of circuitry. Nope, I'm going to have to come at it from outside. Okay, so now we've got our signal up to the roof. We need to connect up to the pistons in, well, I want it to be relatively neat, so it's going to be the same pattern as we had underground. So this leftmost one here is going to be going to the rear ones. Then this one's going to go to the right-hand side, this one will go to the left-hand side, and this one will go to the front. And I want to do all this without travelling too far up the sides of this upside-down pyramid, because I want this to be, because I'm going to have to cover up anywhere there's wiring, and I want most of this to be open and exposed to the air, because it looks good when I'm at the top of my tower. So if we start with this one, so this needs to head towards the rear. Now I can't go there because I'll connect to that, so I'll go up. Actually, I probably want to leave a little more room than that, because this one is going to have to connect into there. So I'm actually going to start with this one. So I can't go there, so you're going to have to start coming off here already. Like so, and we'll see whether or not it gets there. Yep, it gets there and it lights them all up. Okay, so now I know the track this one has to take. I can now start to see how I'm going to get this one past it. Well, obviously I'm going to have to run its wiring at this level, so I can get rid of that. And we can bring it back like so. Now this thing's going to start cross-connecting, but I'm going to fix that in a moment. So let me just run that back till we're past there. And I'm going to fix that by cutting the wires, by just putting some wool down. Okay, and as you can see now, those wires are no longer connecting to each other. And when I come to cap the roof, I can cap at this level here, and I don't lose too much of my upside down pyramid. Right, so let's continue this circuit. Go down there. Right, and obviously we've run out of power at some point, so we'll just make that one a repeater. Okay, so now we've hooked to those three. Now we're going to have something a bit different here, because this one has to go to that front and that one's going to there. So these two, I think they have to cross over past each other. I can't really see a way around that. So I think the easiest thing is going to be to hook this one up to the front, and then I just have to work out how to make this one avoid it. So can go up there. Now, is that going to be underneath my cap level? Yes, it is. So if I chop you and you out, then I can put so it can keep going up like so. And now I can just run it along here and cut the wires. Cutting the wire down there. And they're all lit up. So that's it for the wiring. Obviously all this is going to be covered in stone. The back of this will be closed up, so none of this ugliness will be visible from the outside. So let me get rid of my impromptu staircase here. Just put a torch down here in the bottom, because otherwise mobs might spawn. So work my way up. Put the floor back in. Now, someone suggested, and it works, if you put glowstone underneath your enchanting table, then the light shines through the enchanting table. So it's a good way to light up inside here where the bookshelves are. Because you can't put torches down, because that, interferes with stuff. So let's close up the floor and see whether or not we need to correct any of the wiring anywhere. Not quite enough. Can make some more. There we go. Right, so retract all bookshelves. Okay, we've got a problem. For some reason, those ones from the top haven't retracted. So we just get our way up to the roof as quickly as we can and try and find out what's going on there. Interesting. I forgot to wire that, so that's why those ones are down, but why are these ones at the rear lit? Why didn't they retract? Or why am I wrong? Well, let's put in this hugely obvious wire that I forgot to wire in. There we go. So that's retracted those. Perfect. So everything has retracted, so if I was to try and enchant, I would get the lowest level possible. So now we just test this stage by stage. That's 3 bookcases. I'm probably going to put signs above, which sort of tell you how many bookcases each button activates. Nice and neat. Retract, push. Next one up. It takes a while for them to get into configuration, as the power goes in all sorts of different directions in the circuit. But I quite like it. It's nice and fluid and dynamic. So that's on full, and back to off again. So there you have it. Now, when they're extended, at the top, you can see the edges of the pistons. Now, you could just put a block there, go round. I'm waiting for Minecraft 1.2, where I can put some upside down stairs to cover that bit there, because that way it'll match the ground. So there's staircase there, and there'll be an upside down staircase at the top. I mean, from the inside you'll still be able to see the pistons, but I think that's fine. And there'll probably be a roof. I could put the roof either at that level, but I actually think it might look better if it's at that level, because that way we still get all the nice glowing pistony type stuff showing up. So, well, that's how to make my 8-level variable enchanter. I hope you found this interesting. And I hope to see you on my next episode of Ayaron's World. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you found this useful. Bye-bye.